Oh my goodness. There's always times. I'll let you introduce yourself. How about
Yeah,
that?
of course, of course. I'm so excited. Well, you see, we're bringing the energy. Our energy is so high, even the cars on the street are beeping. Hi, everyone. I'm so excited to be here. This is going to be extremely valuable. And as Raimonda says, let me know in the chat how you feel. Are you excited for today? And if you are excited, say the word I am. So I'm just going to start sharing my slides and we will kick off. So here we go. Let's just get all the tech working. Right, I'm hoping that you are able to see my slides. I am just gonna pull up the chat. Yeah, great, it's working. So super excited. So today we're gonna talk about secret to consistent high ticket sales. Without waiting years to build your audience, without wasting time on all the things that right now that you're perhaps doing that's draining your soul, and also without wasting thousands spending on ads. So who am I? Let me see if I can move the slides. Here we go. Yeah, this is a picture of me and my boys. I mean, they look like picture perfect. That doesn't normally happen. But my name is Elena Dakas, and I have a background in mergers and acquisitions. In fact, for the last 20 years, I have been buying and selling companies. I have bought and sold over 50 companies worth over 10 billion US dollars. And you know, it's been such an amazing journey to really get to see how the business is working from the insides, to open the leads to hundreds of businesses and really see, right, what is working? How are they really making money? I can see they say they make money, but actually, how do they really make money? Because actually, when you try to buy a company or sell a company, you have to open the leads to hundreds of businesses in the process to really get to understand the whole industry and the whole cash flow. Where do they sit? And really see some, honestly, the horror stories I can tell you where on the surface, the business looks amazing, right? They're posting private jet and champagne parties on Instagram, but actually when you look inside, the business is trapped within the business. The business is spending more than the money they make, and really trying to get out, wants to sell it, but can't, and also can't scale. So that's the experience that I was able to put into my signature framework. And those are the elements that I will be teaching and talking to you today. So my big why, but it hasn't always been that way. You know, actually, I was brought up with all sorts of limiting beliefs and mindset issues that you can think of. In fact, when I was growing up, no one told me you can be anything, you can do anything, the world is possible, everything you can be. In fact, I received quite a different message. The message that I received was, well, the dream is for dreamers, not for you. I remember when I was 10 years old and I was full of ambition, full of possibility, full of bright things that I wanted to be. And I remember my math teacher in school saying, actually, laughed at me when I shared those intimate dreams and said, actually, the best thing you can be is the secretary at the local factory. And I remember the feeling of being like someone put a big cap on my dreams. Someone put a big cap on me. But fast forward 20 years later, I'm on the board as the youngest and the only female across the world's largest boardroom tables. And that moment when I was 10, goes so deeply into my why. In helping women like you, women, female entrepreneurs, to really support them on their business journey, for them to create the business that they love, the business that creates such a positive impact in the world. Because the truth is, the world needs more leadership, female leadership. The world desperately needs female presidents, female CEOs. Your business needs to be seen by customers, because behind every business run by a woman, there's a huge impact and a positive impact in the world. But more than that, you know, my big why is actually helping those women then become an example for their children. Become an example for their children, their family and friends, or anyone who sees them, to see, look what's possible. Look what's possible. Look at my mom. She did it. She lived her dream. She did it. And those children that we bring up into the world will never have a cap that I have experienced when I was 10. So that's why I'm here today. And that's why I'm so passionate about supporting female entrepreneurs and female businesses. So why high ticket? Why high ticket? And why you should be thinking about high ticket for your business? Yes, women building our own tables. Absolutely. More leaders, successful entrepreneurs, CEOs, women in the boardroom. That's right. That's why your business needs to be seen. Your business needs to create consistent cash flow. This is how you grow. This is how you scale. But also, this is how you create that ripple effect in the world. But you can't do that. You can't change people's life. You can't bring your service into the world unless you have the cash flow. And that's what we're going to talk about today, how to create this consistent cash flow in your business so you can recruit a team, you can multiply your impact, you can really grow. So why high ticket? Why high ticket? And this is for you, especially if you have an expert, you're a course creator, you're any connected to the information business. If you're a coach, consultant, service provider, if you're an online space, this is going to be extremely valuable to you. So why high ticket? Well, the thing is, the high ticket clients are the best kind of clients. And here's why. You see, they are more mature and more sophisticated in their journey. What happened was they have tried the free stuff, right? They've tried the free stuff, the low ticket stuff, but they've realized that actually to get the results that they want, in the time scale that they want to achieve those results, they need to invest. Does this make sense? Is this making sense? Let me know in the chat if this is making sense. And the thing is, they have realized that they need to invest, more importantly, in themselves, right? They need to invest in themselves. I love this example. Elon Musk in 2008 nearly went bankrupt. He nearly went bankrupt, but he was able to rebuild his billion-dollar empire just within 2 years. In fact, right now, he's worth over $450 billion. How was he able to go from bankruptcy into billion-dollar empire just within a couple of years? Because he had the knowledge. He had the expertise. He had the capability within his head. That's why he was able to do that. Yes. The investment comes back multiple. That's the biggest investment you can ever make, is investment in yourself. No one can ever take this away from you. And this is what those ticket clients realize. No one can take that away from them. Not the government, not the employer, no one. And, Grant Cardone is another example. He participated in this challenge, right? In this TV show, how to become a billionaire. He was taking away all his contacts. He was given $100 bill. He didn't have anything else, no other money, no mobile, no contacts, and he needed to make $1 million within 90 days. And he did it. Why was he able to do that? But the guy on the street next to him can't. Because he's got the capability, he's got the knowledge. And that's what high ticket clients have realized. They're in that space, but also they're super committed. They're extremely committed to this game. They are not dabbling anymore, right? They're not trying things out, kind of testing it, seeing if it's going to work. They're in it. Let me know if this is making sense. They have the skin in the games. And that's the beautiful thing. When you have clients who have skin in the game, who wants this, incredibly, they're so committed, they're making this work. Your company will get results. Your clients will get results. And what happens when your clients get amazing results? Tell me in the chat what happens when clients get amazing results. You get referrals. You get all those incredible ripple effect. They start referring you, right? The word of mouth, your brand, your testimonials, everything starts to grow. And that's the power of high ticket clients and high ticket sales, which is exactly what we're going to talk about today. Absolutely results. But why do people struggle? We understand this. We know that high ticket sales is incredible. We want that. But why do people struggle? And here's what's really happening. And I call this an invisible experts. Yes, ego gets in the way. Absolutely. So I call this an invisible expert. So let me tell you what this is. This is someone who is an unbelievable expert. And a lot of you might relate to this. They spent years honing their craft. They have so much expertise, corporate background, professional background. When they work with clients, people get amazing results. They know that their work is really good. Does this make sense? Yeah. I mean, guys, you relating to this? Their work is really good. And every time they work with clients, the clients say, I don't understand why you're not fully booked. You're so good. I don't understand why you're not fully booked. And then what happens is they're providing a lot of value. They're providing a lot of value. They're posting at least 3 to 4 times a week. 70% of their content is how-to content, tutorial content, information-based content, but it doesn't seem to resonate. No one's asking to buy from them. No one's asking to buy from them, and they don't have consistent sales in your business, but they don't understand. And this is exactly what happened with one of my clients, Catherine, who is a parenting coach, an incredible parenting coach. Like, she actually changes people's lives. She changes children's lives. She helps mothers not to pass on the generational traumas, right, that they have experienced into their parenting. She really teaches moms how to become this life coach for their children. And before we started working, she was really at loss. She got some sales, but then the next months they were not there. There was no consistency. And actually, when you would ask, well, what part of the process created those sales? She couldn't point them out. And that's what happens. You can't quite point out which part of the process generated those sales. And then what happened is she was provided so much information. The information was so good. The information itself could change people's lives, but no one seems to care. And then what happens is the business feels extremely unreliable, right? The business feels extremely unreliable because it's ups and downs. There's no consistency. 1 month, some great sales, but then nothing going forward. And what does that create inside? It really creates a level of uncertainty that actually I can't rely on my business to make big life decisions. I can't take out the mortgage, recruit a team. It becomes a really frustrating process. And also what most people do then, they look around themselves. That's what most people do. They look around themselves and they say, right, what everyone else is doing, and they copy them. They copy them. And then they feel extremely frustrated because they see other people who are less experienced than them, less qualified than them, but making way more money than them. And the thing is, I just want you to know, if you find in yourself, if you can relate to some of them, at least one of those items, if this is resonating, let me know in the chat if this is resonating, if this is making sense. The problem is, it's not your fault. It's not your fault. The problem is there's so much unhelpful marketing advice out there. It's so unhelpful. That's creating this problem. The type of advice that we hear is position yourself as an expert. Position yourself as an expert, or just put yourself out there and sales will come. And you've been doing that. You've been putting yourself out there, but sales are not there. Or just to say, provide value. And you have been providing values. In fact, you've been providing so much value and information, you don't understand what else to do. And you keep doing it because you also don't know what to do instead. Or the type of advice that we hear all the time is just raise your price. Well, just raise your price. And you've tried that, but it doesn't quite work like that. It doesn't quite work like that. Or just show up, just put yourself out there, or tell them what they need and why, but don't tell them the how. That also doesn't work, because what it does is leaves clients, high-ticket clients, remember, sophisticated clients, completely unsatisfied. And you see, the issue is this advice might have worked 3 years ago, and that's why people are still following it. Might have worked 3 years ago, but it doesn't work right now because the market has changed. If you think about online space, right? If you think about online space, it's really crowded. Like, it doesn't take a lot of money to start an online business, right? Does anyone agree? It doesn't take money to start an online business. Yeah, it doesn't take, as so many content creators producing content every single day, but they don't have the expertise. And that's why people get lost in a crowd of thousands. They get lost in a crowd of thousands because they're doing the same thing and everyone else is doing, and they're wondering why they're not seeing the results. And it's almost like, I love this analogy. It's almost the same thing as, 3 to 5 years ago, creating this expert knowledge-based business would be the same thing as, starting a food shop. When you're the only food shop in town, what happens when you're the only food shop in town? You're going to get clients, right? You're going to get clients because you're the only food shop in town. People are going to come to you. They're going to buy from you. Your business is going to grow. But you don't have to be the best. You don't have to be amazing. You just need to show up and provide value. And that's why it works. But actually now, when you have so many shops in town, you need to be different. You need to be unique. You need to have a unique positioning. And information itself doesn't sell. Information itself doesn't sell. And I will show you why. And we'll talk more about this. Because the thing is, if information were to sell, that encyclopedia would be the best-selling book. But encyclopedia is not the best-selling book, right? Tell me in the comments, in the chat, if this is making sense, if you can relate to this, if this is resonating. And what happens is the advice that you hear, and you hear some of the strategies, and you're saying, well, just start engaging. Just start engaging. Just start engaging with people, sending them hundreds of DMs or comment in 50 Facebook groups, people who collected your audience, in a hope that maybe you will get noticed. Maybe your expertise will get noticed. Or just wait years. Just wait years to build an audience. Just show up, just dance on Reels. And I see a lot of clients of mine, they don't just have one social media platform. They're on LinkedIn, they're on Facebook, they're on Instagram, they're on TikTok, they're doing all the things. And they're extremely exhausted by the end of the day. They're drained. Their husband comes to them and says, you're spending so much on your business, I cannot take it. Where are the results? Where are the sales? Show me the sales. And they're also thinking at this stage, well, I think I should be investing in ads, in Facebook ads. I should be investing in ads. And if you're someone who's been thinking to invest in ads in the last 3 months, because you think it's the only way to provide consistency in your business, then this is exactly what's been happening. That's exactly what you've been experiencing, because it's all based on hope. Hope one day, maybe they will buy. And what happens is this creates this, what I call a hustle culture circle of death. And I see it happening all the time. Women are extremely burnt out, overwhelmed, they're spinning their wheels because inside of them, they've got this big passion, this big desire to help people with their service. And they know it's good. And they feel like, I don't understand why people don't want to be helped. I know I can help people, but when no one's asking for my help, I feel like I want to go on the top of the mountain and shout. No one seems to care. And this is what's causing the burnout. And this is what's causing this, that I hear all the time from my clients to say, Helena, I'm doing all those things they tell me to do, but I feel like I'm working more and seeing my family less than when I had a 9-to-5 job. At least I could leave it. Here I'm doing all the things, but I'm not spending the time with clients. I'm doing other stuff that's draining my soul. I want to be with clients. I want to coach. I want to change people's lives. I want to help them, not do this other stuff that I'm spending days on TikTok. And I'm doing the things, but I see no changes in my bank account. I don't see changes in my bank account. Or I'm posting every day, I'm adding value, I'm being consistent. They're asking me to be consistent. I'm consistent, but I'm consistent doing the same thing that's not working. And therefore, no consistent sales. I hear this all the time. And I don't know where my next client is coming from. I don't know where my next client is coming from. And what that means is that is really unreliable. You can't rely on your business because my business just feels real like an emotional roller coaster. And that's exactly what's been happening with one of my clients with Catherine. It just feels like an emotional roller coaster. You can't invest, you can't do things, but her service is incredible. And then another year has passed and it's still the same thing. I'm not where I want to be in my business or my life. I don't want to go back to 9-to-5 job because that was just draining my soul. I need to make this work, but it's not working. So what do you need instead? What is it that you need instead? What you need instead is a reliable, consistent, authentic system. You need a process. You need a system you can lean towards, that you're so confident in it that you know every time you turn it on, it creates sales, and it's rooted in your story. So at no point does it feel slimy or something that you resent inside. And what that creates is, imagine this. You're able to sign clients every time you talk. Every time you speak, you sign 20% of the audience who's listening to you. 20% of your audience says, I want this. How can I get this? I want to work with you. And the beautiful thing is you're not pitching. It's completely pitch free. You're not even pitching. And this is why people's mind is absolutely blown. No pitching, no pitching. And you move people's heart and minds every time you speak. And the beautiful thing about this is that you ultimately attract an amazing clients, because through my merge and acquisition journeys, the amount of horror stories I've seen where founders just hating their clients, like trying to get out, asking me later, I want to sell this business. How do I get out? Because they hate it, because they've attracted the wrong crowd. They've attracted the wrong clients that actually energetically drain them. You know what it's like when you work with an amazing, dreamy clients where work doesn't feel like work and you just want to help them, you want to hang out with them. And that's what happens when you attract people the right way, authentically, by you, by your energy, by your story. And also, you're also able to recruit an A-star team. And what does that do for you is that imagine every Monday morning you're waking, coming to, to work, or you get and you meet your team, you're sharing the ideas you had on the weekend, and your team is right. I'm taking this over, and they're executing within a week, and it's done. You don't have to put on a burner. You can implement it immediately. That's what the team does. And then you're able to scale. So what happens is, this is where we transition to this in-demand expert. And what does that look like? What does that feel like? I just want to share. Let me know in the comments if this is resonating. In-demand expert is someone who people ask him to buy and work with you without knowing the details of your program, They ask him to buy from you and say, right, I hear you speak. I've seen your content. I see you. I want to work with you. What have you got going on? You have DMs like that coming to you every single week. And as a result of that, your client list is full, your wait list is full. You have to turn people away. And you have speaking opportunities coming to you every single week in your inbox. We want to interview you. With one of my clients, like as I told you, parenting coach, right now, she's able to sign 3 to 4 high-ticket clients every single week. Every single week, people coming to her and saying, how do I work with it? How do I roll in? What have you got going on? I heard you speak. You connected to me so deeply. I know exactly what you provide. I know how your unique solution is going to help me. How do we work together? It's so powerful. Her service hasn't changed. And I'll talk more about this. Her service hasn't changed. The service is still the same. I was having this conversation with one of my other clients this week. We only had 3 sessions together, 4 high-ticket clients. But her mind was blown that her service hasn't changed. It's the same service. But everything around it has changed, that now people come into her and they get it. They get it, what she does and how she's able to help them. And the best thing about this, the work feels really easy. And this is a really great indication that the work by the end of it feels really easy. You're like, wow, I've spent a day doing the stuff I love. I don't want to stop working. It's so energizing. It's so energizing. Absolutely. Clarity. It feels so energized. And the business feels like it gives you the freedom. It gives you the joy. It gives you the wealth. And it just feels so light. That's what the in-demand expert looks like. So how do we achieve this? How does this happen? How do we create this in-demand expert? And this is what's inside my in-demand expert method. So really all you need, right? All you need is one highly converting presentation. And that becomes like a core asset in your business. It becomes a core asset in your business. And that is, everything is within it. And then all you do every time you use this asset in your business, you get 20% of your audience saying yes. And then you need other people's virtual stages exposure for this asset, eyes on you to convert. And this formula, this asset is really, it's really so intentionally designed that it just feels, you're talking about you, your story, your authentic story, what's unique about your method. And you can use it everywhere, right? This is the beauty of it. You can use it everywhere. You can use it on Facebook Lives, Instagram Lives, webinars. Some of my clients use it during launch process. So, during launch process, you might be doing a launch presentation. And this is exactly what you do there. For challenges, for video series, as you use in summits like this, podcast, group coaching programs, or use it in discovery calls. It becomes the core system of your sales process. Some of my clients sign their customers on the way to nursery, like school drop-off. When someone asks them, what do you do and how do you do it? They've got this. They know what to say. They know what to say. And the beautiful thing, once you've done this, you're so clear, like you know exactly what to say to convert. And every time you use it, you're going to get conversion. And then actually everything else in your business is built off it. Your content, you can use it in emails, you can use it in copy, it's all there. And this is how you kill this hustle culture circle of death. And also leveraging other people's audiences. This summit is such an amazing example of using other people's audiences, because this is where they have collected an audience of your ideal clients already. And the hardest thing right now is to get attention. Yes. Hustle culture circle of death. The other people's audience have collected your ideal clients already. So really getting exposure to them already automatically elevates your authority, and you get access to large audience fast, but you just got to use the spotlight carefully so it doesn't become a waste of time. And this is what happens. You would have seen this happening. Who here knows, who knows here some of the faces here? Mel Robbins, Rachel Hollis. Type in the chat if you know some of those faces. So they do the same thing. I mean, my favorite example is, Rachel Hollis. Yes, all of them, absolutely. Rachel Hollis, in 2008, she was #1 in New York Times bestseller list with her book. Do you think her book was the best book has written in 2008? No, probably not. And what did Rachel do in order to get her book on a bestseller list? She has an audience of 5 million people right now. 5 million people. She talked, of course, to her audience about the book, but what else did she do? She went on every single podcast, on every single lives, Instagram lives with all other people to really leverage other people's audiences. And she had a really powerful presentation that she converted to achieve that result. The same thing, Mel Robbins, when she last year launched her High Five book, #1 international bestseller list. Was it the best book written last year? No, I'm sure there's a PhD from Columbia who's written a better book. It was not on a bestseller list. And when you watch Mel Robbins, when she was launching, you couldn't escape her. You couldn't escape her. She has a huge audience of 5 million, 10 million combined with other platforms. She talked about her product there, but she also leveraged other people's audiences. You couldn't escape her. She was in every podcast using the same thing. Powerful asset, one powerful presentation, and using exposure in other people's audiences. The same actors, that's right. When Hollywood movie launches this, what do? What does Hollywood movie does when they launch a movie? You cannot escape the actors. The actors are everywhere on every TV show talking about the same thing, the same powerful presentation, and they're using other people's audience. So you must do the same. You can do the same. And that's exactly what my clients do. Scale Secret Summit, a summit that we run every year in October, a 6-figure event, the same thing. One of my clients, Jessica, presentation during the summit, 6 high-ticket clients after one presentation. One podcast interview led to 10 high-ticket clients. That's the power of this right there when you use it wisely. So think about it for yourself. You're literally one presentation away from your next level. Just think about it for a second, like one presentation is what it takes. Tell me in the comments if this resonates. One presentation away. People think it's like really far away or can never be achieved. You're literally just one presentation away. And once you start talking to your clients in the right way that gets to connect to their soul, that really showcases you as unique, you're literally one presentation away. And think about right now, like really think about this. What can this presentation do for you? Like imagine having something like this so stable, so consistent in your business that you can lean into that to create sales. Imagine being able to create consistent 3 high-ticket sales in your business, 3 to 4 high-ticket clients every week, if you want to. If you don't, you don't. You might be happy with 1 or 2, but you are in control. Because my biggest thing for you and for all the women out there is be completely in control and independent. Independent of algorithm, independent of employer, independent of government. Completely independent in your capability to support your family, to support your team. And this is what this provides. This is what this provides. So, but what happens is, how do people make mistakes? And what's really causing this? Some of the mistakes that people make is what we talked earlier. They really bombard people with information. They bombard people with information because they think this is how we provide value. They think that the way we provide value, we provide them lots of information. So they teach. Does anyone relate to this? Does this make sense? Does this make sense? I've got a photo of someone showering someone with information. And what happens is, have you ever been in this? Have you ever been in the the webinar or the presentation, and you're so overwhelmed, you're just being bombarded with information, and your to-do list has just exploded. You're like, I need to take a breath. This is just so much. I need to have I need to take 6 months to actually go and implement it, and then I'll come back. Right? This is what happens. You're so overwhelming. We don't need any more information. But the reason why they do that, and it's not their fault, it's just what marketing gurus have been teaching us. The truth is, information doesn't sell. It does not sell. If information was to sell, if it was that easy, encyclopedia would be best-selling book. What actually sells is the demand creating system, a system that creates the demand. Within your content, within your presentation, within every time you speak, you could create internal desire and a demand. Let me know in the chat if this is making sense. Demand creation system. And then what happens is, this is what most people do, and you would have seen this 100%. So yeah, absolutely. What happens is most people do the same. They teach, they provide value, then bombard people with lots of information. And then they do that, and then pause, awkward silence, and then they pitch. And something happens like, well, today I want to share with you this, my offer, and it becomes super awkward. The mood in the room really changes. People are like, oh, I didn't know it was a sales fest, right? Because anyone been in these presentations? This is what happens. They pitch at the end of the presentation, the worst thing you can do, but that's what you taught. Or not creating this deep connection with the audience. And I love this example. I was having a chat with my mom the other day, and we were like, well, Mom, who is your favorite influencer or author? I just love Brené Brown. And I remember asking her, Mom, do anyone else here loves Brené Brown? Let me know in the chat. She was like, well, I just, every time Brené speaks, I feel so connected to her. I feel like I know her. Yeah, I love her. We all feel like we know her. Why do we feel like we know her? Yeah, the truth is, she's able to create such a deep connection with her storytelling that we see ourselves in her stories. And the truth is, her strategy isn't the most revolutionary strategy that we've ever heard, right? It's not the most unique, it's not the most amazing, but the way she connects to her audience is extremely powerful. And your presentation will do the same thing. It will connect so deeply to people's heart. Or no unique and authentic positioning, which is another mistake people make. They don't showcase why they're different, why they're new, and you will be different, you will be new because you are yourself. You're just not showing it. And this is why most people, by not doing it, they get lost in the sea of other experts. They just become like everyone else, just like everyone else. But you have to create your own lane. And also not having one clear, super specific message that align to your offer. Lots of people do amazing talks. They do amazing talks, motivational talks, and they share lots of amazing stories, but it's not connected to their offer. It's not connected to their offer. That's why people don't buy. That's why people don't buy. And what happens is they're not creating deep desire or demand within their messaging, and becomes, frankly, a waste of time. Like, it was nice. It was nice chat. You know, a lot of my clients who come to me, they've been on the podcast, they've done some of those really great stuff, but it was nice chat. It was nice time, and created claps, but not clients. Very, very different, not clients. And this is how people miss thousands on the table. This is how the people miss thousands on the table. And this is what we were, yes. And this is how we were having a chat with one of my clients, Jessica. We only had 3 meetings, right? We only had 3 meetings. She already signed 4 high ticket clients. And she was like, well, I don't understand, you know, Elena, the most amazing thing about this is my service hasn't changed. My service hasn't changed. My messaging and positioning has. And you know, the West analogy with this is like a chocolate. You know, think of a really amazing, one of the world's most expensive chocolate candy, like a box of chocolates. If that been made in this unique patisserie in France, if we put that box of chocolate in a really rapid, in a really scruffy looking, dirty newspaper, or we will put the same chocolate, the same quality chocolate, but we'll wrap it in this amazing premium looking golden glossy box of chocolates with a gold ribbon at the top. Ribbon. Which one would you buy? Which one would you buy? The product is the same. Which one would you buy? You will buy with the one with the golden ribbon, beautifully decorated, packaged so beautifully, because it reflects the quality of the service and the chocolate you get inside. This is the same thing. It's the packaging around your business. That's why when people make products, they spend 70% on the quality of their product, but they also spend 30-40% on the packaging. And that's the secret. You got to get the packaging, because the truth is, if your service and product wrapped in a dirty, scruffy looking newspaper, people will not buy, because it doesn't reflect the quality and the service that's inside. But the quality and the product is the same. The chocolate is the same in both boxes. But people do not buy. That's the power of this, and that's the power of this. And this is how you transition from being invisible and unheard expert to an in-demand expert. That's the transition. And really, it's a 4-step process for you to get your head around. It's unique positioning. What is your lane? What is your lane where there's no competition? You are in your own lane. And what is your highly converting asset and presentation that every time you speak anywhere, every time you use it in email copy, in content marketing, you convert, you get sales, you get people saying, I want to work with you. I need this, and access to audiences. And the way this works beautifully, it really works as a combination of 3 things. And this is probably gives you understanding why, if you've tried a few of them, but one was missing, it would not work. And this is why you didn't get the results last time. Because you must have unique positioning, through messaging. And once you have that, then you have a highly converting asset, highly converting presentations that will lead people from strangers to the sale. But if you have the 2, if you have unique positioning and you know how to take people from strangers to sale, but there's no one looking at your content, there's no eyes on you, exposure, you're not going to convert. And that's just how it works. So yes, so let's wrap it up. I know Raimonda is giving me a little bit nod that we're going to close out soon. But yes, just to finish off, so those things needs to work in together. They need to work in together. And also, for example, if you have the exposure, you might have an amazing audience already. You have an amazing audience, you have an amazing positioning, but you don't know how to take people from strangers to a sale. That's also going to work. So they've got to work together. So this is the thing for me. I want to close out on this. What I don't want this to be, I don't want to be this like another talk you had. That was nice. That was interesting. You know, your mind was blown, but you did nothing about this. Has anyone experienced that before? Has anyone experienced that before where you've read a book, you heard an amazing podcast, you heard an amazing presentation, you're like, wow, wow. But then the life took a toll and you did nothing about this. Why is it there's so many books written how to become a millionaire, but we have less people actually becoming one? Because people don't take action. So I don't want this to happen to you, because the information itself is pointless. Like, it truly is pointless. You might as well go and watch Netflix and just do something else. Information in itself, it might make you feel good in the moment, but that's it. It's absolutely pointless unless you do something different about this, unless you take steps, take action. And actually, you know, I was thinking the other day, like this moment like now, moments like this is the separator. In the moments like this, some people will be recommitting to themselves. They'll be recommitting to their business, to their dream, to their idea, and they will be taking massive actions. In the moments just like this second. Or there'll be people who will just move on with their life, and they will see years going by, still doing the same thing, still not living their dream. And this is why later, you know, my biggest fear in life that I talk about, then we get to our 80th birthday, we want to look back and say, wow, I lived it. I've lived my life to the fullest. And I'm so damn proud. So here's my invitation to you for the 5 people only, for the first 5 people only. So you have to be quick. You have to be quick. Send me a DM. Follow me on Bossy Heels Club. Love the name, Bossy Heels Club. Send me a DM right now. But you have to say Women Thrive Summit in the DMs, and you will get high ticket sales roadmap phone call, because you're here, you're in Women Thrive Summit, and this is a truly special place. This is where we take action. This is where we do something amazing with our lives. And for the first 5 people only, you will get that spot. So let me stop sharing and I'll just post some links.
High energy. I see, Elaine, so much value. It's like Angela said, there's so much to cover. It really is. And I love that. I think sales can be challenging for a lot of people. And please drop the comments, links. I have shared your links in the chat. Sales can be intimidating. And I think you've just broken down some of the beliefs that we have around sales, around our offer, about having that fear, or, you know, closing the sales can feel challenging. So yeah, amazing. Let us know what you felt, what you thought during this talk, what mindset shifts that you had. I wanted to make sure we have a bit of time. If you have questions, we got 5 more minutes. So if there is something that you want to address, ask it in the chat right now, because Elena is here for another 5 minutes before we have to switch over to another speaker. I loved it. I have some ideas and thoughts. It's like, wow, like really? Can't be that simple.
Truly is. And I think this is the thing. Another thing is, we sometimes feel like it has to be complex. And I think the reason why we do that is because we feel like we have to earn it. It has to be hard to make a lot of money. Like, it has to be difficult. And we create our own barriers for ourselves, but actually the simplicity, the clarity is what creates massive results.
Yeah, clarity around your offer, who you're serving. Let me see some of your comments. This is really good. Straight Van said, let me see. There was so much to cover around this topic. Right on, Elena Karina said, this is really good, really challenging. Laura said, definitely enjoyed this discussion so very much. Followed amazing talk, reprogram my mindset around sales. Deborah said, wow, reprogramming. It really is. It's that shift in how we see it, how we can apply. How are you going to apply this knowledge that you have learned today? Because we talked about, you know, you're attending here. It's great for inspiration, great for information. We covered a lot. We covered a lot in this session, but what are you going to be applying in your sales approach now? And if you want that sales roadmap, drop Elena a message or book yourself a call with her. Jessica said, great talk, great information, so many takeaways, amazing, learned so much, appreciate it, amazing, amazing, amazing. So, Elena, do you have anything in the goodie bag that you had included?
I do actually. We've provided so much value in the all around the summit link. So there's a few things for you that you can expect. I have an amazing freebie, which is a training, which is how to make 10K in the next 10 days.
Wow.
Powerful. So go and grab that. This is completely free, and I'm going to give you powerful strategies in your toolkit of things to use that you can lean towards. Also, in your goodie bag, one exercise that I've incorporated is this: how to find a true meaning and purpose in your life. And this is really important, really goes deep to what I was talking about, is that your business needs to be rooted in your story, in your purpose, in your meaning, and actually uncovering that big why so deep that it makes you cry is the thing that's going to really attract people. It's going to be a real meaning to your work. And you will get that exercise there in the goodie bag. It will some really amazing exercise that you have to do to uncover it. Takes time, like dedicate maybe half an hour to 45 minutes alone time, do a bit of meditation beforehand and start writing. And what you'll come out of that is going to be extremely powerful.
Beautiful. So for those of you who have already upgraded your tickets, these are Elena's goodies in her swag bag. If you haven't upgraded, what are you waiting for? That's the only question I'm going to ask you, because what are you waiting for right now? I want to go back and watch this talk again to, slow it down and pick out some of the things that, you can apply today. Is the mindset shifts that we're having right here. But it's about how are you going to apply this information now in your business, right?
Yes, I'm just going to post the link as well. I can see there's a comment, where's the free
Yeah.
gift? Let me just do that.
What is it worth to you? What is the worth? That one presentation, what is it worth to you? The investment that you make today, that's £100 investment in this summit. What is it worth to you to get access to that training? 10K in 10 days, right? That training alone is worth that. It's worth that. Calls, strategy calls, and sessions that you have, the training that you have available in the swag bags from these amazing speakers is worth so much. So what I want you to do is make sure that you're applying yourself, that you're taking action. That's important. All of that isn't going to happen unless you committed to yourself, to your growth, and taking action.
Yes, and type in the chat, I commit. There's something happens when we do that, when we recommit to ourselves. I commit to myself. I commit to my business. I commit. This is not a joke. I am fully in. And then something happens energetically, like the universe starts hearing you. They're like, okay, she's serious. She's serious. She's committed. She's fully in. This is what it takes. It's a moment like this, where actually when we get the energy, you say, I am making this happen. I'm fully in. This is not a joke. And 6 down the line, my business will have a consistent sales in your business. Like it will be in 6 months' time. Imagine looking back and saying, it was this summit. It was Raimonda. It was this women. And look at my business now. And look what I can offer to my kids, to my family. And they're all asking me, how did you do it? Yeah. This is it. You have it at your fingertips.
Right here, right now. If you enjoyed Elena's conversation or presentation, drop her a DM, just say thank you for this. I know we really appreciate every single tag on social media, your messages. I get voice notes every day from some of you. I just want to say thank you, because it's those little small moments of appreciation, the moment that you have taken out of your time to thank someone, one of our speakers, or follow them or encourage them and be here. You're committed to this. Put it in the chat. I am committed. I am committing to myself. So important. This session is fantastic segue, because today we learned about sales with you, Elena. Next, and I think sometimes we women still doubting ourselves and wondering, am I ready to step into these shoes of this woman that is going to be going out there and making these amazing sales, right? How can I step into those shoes? So next up, we have Alexandra Prince, who will be talking about stepping into the shoes of the woman of your dreams. This, ladies, this is a fantastic segue. I just can't wait. that after this session, now let's step into the shoes of the woman of your dreams. And we're talking with our wardrobe stylist, Alexandra Prince, but she's bringing a holistic approach to your personal brand. And that just closes the whole loop of how we show up as powerful women, implement ourselves, show up to our clients, serve them with certainty, with confidence, with leadership, with everything that you have. Come on, let's step up, ladies. Let's step up.
I love it. I love it. It's all about those shoes to step in, the identity that you all have, that powerful identity that commands the stage, the boardroom, any room available. She's there.
I mean, I could be here all day with you. Thank you, ladies. Take 10 minutes break. We're going to be hopping over into the green room with Alexandra, and we'll see you in 10 minutes. You're not going to want to miss the next session. Elena, love you lots. Thank you so much for this session. It was amazing, mind shifting. I appreciate you. See you in a bit.
Bye-bye.
Bye.